Opposition politician Erias Lukwago has described outgoing Speaker Anita Among as a political creation of President Museveni.
However much they try to distance themselves, however much they try now to portray a picture that she's a person who is alien to the values of NRM, who is not in any way connected to the state, the first family, Anita's umbilical cord is still connected to Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, connected to the NRM, connected to the first family.
He says Among's troubles began because of the way she openly displayed her wealth to the public. According to Lukwago, Among was trying to build her own political power base using money, something he says threatened people who had supported her rise.
Poor woman from Bukedia came with that village excitement. After amassing all this wealth, she started showing off. And the latest in her stock of being, the Rolls Royce, I don't even know how to mention it. That's how complicated the vehicle is. Rolls Royce.
Lukwago described the raids on Among's homes as political drama, arguing that she is unlikely to face prosecution now that she has stepped aside from the speakership race.
Run for speakership. I'm not running for presidency. I will comply with the orders of the investigating officer. I will do whatever you want. Literally giving up, saying, whatever you want, I'm ready, please. Actually, she's like pleading with this term 7, don't kill me, don't finish me off. So now the next thing in 7 will say, Marty.
He pointed to cases involving people like Sisi Namwiji and Merigorit Chitutu, saying they were also accused of corruption but later appeared to regain favor with the president.
Just recently when they were in Chankwanzi, he said, Sisi Namwiji, come. Tell these people how now you turned into a saint. You were a thief, but now you repented, you were a saint. And how I forgave you. I forgave you. She could have to give you her testimony.
Lukwago says if the government was genuinely committed to fighting corruption, then everyone implicated in the Iron Sheet scandal would have already been prosecuted. According to Lukwago, Parliament has now lost the little independence and credibility it had, giving Museveni even more control over state institutions. He blames this partly on Anita Among's leadership style during her time as Speaker.
Who is in charge at Parliament? All the MPs are wobbling now. You know what they call wobbling? They are all speaking in tongues, they are all what? It's terrible. So we are in trouble as a country. How do we redeem the institution of Parliament so that it does not go down with Anita Among?
On reports that Jacob Oboth could be the next speaker, Lukwago says the move is also controversial. He claims Museveni is simply replacing Among with another loyal figure whom he describes as more careful and polished politically.
He is another test tube product, like Anita Among, with the assignments now to play to finish off whatever is left by Anita Among. In comparative terms, Kadaga would do one or the other resist 1-2 things, much as she also succumbed to the pressure and passed the age limit, whatever, 20 close. But one or the other, she would stand up to the authority and say, Kavuma, this order is stupid, I will not implement it. You will not evict the rebel MPs. Kadaga will be remembered for that, having defended the rebel MPs. But Anita has been defending the corrupt.
Lukwago also listed what he called Oboth's questionable political record over the years. He says he is increasingly worried about the future of the country because of the growing concentration of power within the ruling establishment. He called on Ugandans to remain alert and resist what he described as efforts to prepare General Muhoozi Kainerugaba for the presidency.
They are using these unfortunate events to prepare Mr. Muhoozi to take over from his father. They are test tube product which ran out of the ran out of control, causing this kind of disaster we are witnessing in the country. They are using it as fodder, as construction material to prepare an empire for Muhoozi. As a country, we need a transition from family rule. We need a transition from military rule. We need to get out of the captivity where we are kept now. To have a free Uganda where we can all exercise our liberties, where we can all pursue our respective aspirations and pursue our collective destiny as a nation.
According to Lukwago, Anita Among had at some point become a threat to the Muhoozi succession project.
With all that worry, they were not so sure that she wouldn't turn into a problem to Muhoozi. However much she tried to play psychopaths, those people are sophisticated. The Museveni is a sophisticated. You can be a psychopath. You tell them that, look, I believe in the Holy Trinity, Museveni the Father, Janet the Mother, and the Son. They can read it through and tell what is in your heart and what you are scheming. They have that capacity. At least they are not that naive.
Lukwago also called upon opposition MPs and even some NRM legislators to reject Oboth's possible elevation to Speaker.
Invite our members of Parliament to say no to Oboth. Hey, want to repeat this. For us, we have only 2 MPs there. But we are inviting all opposition MPs, including those in NRM who wish well for this country, say no to Oboth.
Meanwhile, the Forum for Democratic Change, FDC, has also criticized the current state of governance in the country, describing the ongoing developments as worrying. The party says if the government is serious about fighting corruption, it should investigate and prosecute all non-corrupt officials instead of targeting only few individuals.
Let the IGG be appointed through an independent body, not the president. And these people should be subjected to a public vetting process.
Political analysts say it is unfortunate that many Ugandans continue to admire leaders who display extravagant lifestyles while public funds that could improve people's lives are misused by a small group of individuals. They are calling for broader investigations into corruption allegations in Parliament and other government institutions. The analysts also argue that real change will only happen if Ugandans change their political attitudes and demand accountability from leaders.
It's my civic duty, it's my moral obligation, it's my social obligation. As far as I'm concerned, politics should be in the context of bulungi bwansi, service above self. It's extremely unfortunate that your so-called leaders or so-called politicians are involved in the political processes as a means of accessing positions from which they can loot the resources of Uganda, or to enable them to live like ticks, sucking blood from us who work at our expense and with no respect for our lives.
It is important to note that in 2018, the then Inspector General of Government, Justice Irene Mulyagonja, said many corrupt government officials hide behind their connections to President Museveni to avoid punishment. She added that the officials involved in corruption are often powerful people who fight back whenever investigations are opened against them, and in many cases, they succeed in avoiding justice. Lydia, Feli Akulu, NTV Tonight.
So it's very possible for the opposition to actually have no representation at EALA.